Posting isn't private. Beware what you share.
Welcome to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller. Thanks for joining us today. Our special guest, the campaign manager for the United Way, Amanda Strigle. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. Thanks so much for having me back.
It's that time of year again, and I know we've been talking off camera for 10 minutes about all the different activities. How long have you been doing this?
I have been at United Way. This will be my 5th campaign.
Wow.
So the time flies. Yeah. Absolutely. So almost 5 years.
That's. I mean, I know you have to keep coming up with new ideas, and we're going to talk about a couple things that you've got going on. But I know it's a great part that everybody likes to do, everybody likes to get involved with. But let's talk a little bit about the United Way in general. Just
Sure.
some of the people the things that you do to help that maybe some people they don't know.
Absolutely. Well, what makes United Way so special, and what makes us different from any other nonprofit organization, is that we bring people together. We have the power to bring government leaders, education leaders, community leaders, business leaders together around the table to identify community needs. Every community has different needs. And so we look at the needs of Fairfield County and we identify the most pressing needs, and then we look at those agencies that are addressing those needs. Then we're able to see who's doing it right, because under our new community impact model, what we do is we require those agencies to provide us with real measurable data showing us how they're addressing these needs and if they're successful or not. So we have bold goals in the impact areas of education, income, and health. And then when we sit down with these different volunteer councils, we can really look at the data, see who's doing it and who's doing it right, and then sort of help enable those other folks to get with programs that are working so that we can in turn pull everyone together at the table and create some real lasting change, because that's really what it's all about.
You made a good point there, volunteer, that the people that are involved with United Way that you're going out talking to, all of the education, the government, those are all volunteer people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have folks from every sector of the community on our impact councils, and those are the folks that are actually making the decisions. But even if they're not volunteering on our board of trustees or on one of our impact councils, we still bring them to the table if we feel that, they have, if they've got a program out there that we're not familiar with, but it seems to be working, we need to be a part of that because we want to see what's working. At the end of the day, it's very simple. We want our community to thrive, and that's like anyone else here in Fairfield County. And so we want to bring together the people who have the ideas, who have the resources, and we want to pull that all together so that we can make the best community that we possibly can. It's that collective impact.
Right. Now, we talk about people that have been involved as volunteers. Name some of the businesses or individuals that have been involved.
Sure, absolutely. I tell you what, we could fill up probably 10 shows just talking about the different businesses that volunteer, and I'm always nervous about that because I don't want to leave anybody off. So what I'd really like to talk about is my campaign chair this year, who's Dean DeRolf from Kumler Collision and Automotive.
Absolutely.
And he has pulled together a fantastic team on our campaign cabinet. So he's my campaign chair for 2014, and he and his wife Kathy are just absolutely incredible. Everyone knows that the DeRolfs are very philanthropic. You'd be hard-pressed to find a nonprofit organization within the county that they don't support. So Dean and Kathy had always supported United Way, but I think what's really special about this year is that Dean had the opportunity Dean and Kathy went on an agency sort of field trip, so to speak, and got to see some of the agencies at work, at the ground level. They were so incredibly moved and so inspired that they have just jumped in with both feet, rolled up their sleeves and said, listen, we're going to do whatever we can to get to work, because even though they'd given before, they didn't really understand, the scope of agencies and services that we provide through the United Way.
And there was a special gift, I guess.
Oh, very special gift.
If you want to talk about it now, that's great. I think this is amazing.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing too. It's always nice when you move someone so much that they give you a car. And so Dean was very, very gracious and donated a 2009 Hyundai Elantra. It's valued at $10,900. It was a part of his rental fleet at Kumler Automotive. And it was just a great car. It gets 40 miles to the gallon. It was just in great shape, and he actually made it even better. Did things like replace the timing belt 30,000 miles before it was due, redid the whole thing. So we're really, really excited. And what it's done is it's been able to draw attention to the campaign because we've started something called the Fair Share Challenge. And what the Fair Share Challenge basically is anyone who donates their fair share, which is equal to 1 hour's pay out of every month. Once they make that pledge, they can fill out an entry form and go into the hopper to become one of the 20 finalists that we'll be choosing. We choose a finalist every week, and we'll be choosing up until the end of December. We'll end up with 20 names. Those 20 folks will be invited to a lovely reception at Kumler Collision and Automotive, and they'll each receive a key, and whoever has the key that opens the door wins the car.
Wow, that's
Right?
neat. That is neat.
It's very exciting. So we are super grateful to Dean and his entire team at Kumler Collision and Automotive because they all donated their time to work on this vehicle to make it an amazing, amazing car.
And let's see, we're taping this show just in the middle of October, so there's time for people to still sign up.
Absolutely.
Because the campaign will go all the way till December, January?
I always say campaign is over when I hit goal.
Okay. All right, there you go.
So if you guys are tired of seeing me or hearing me, then you just write me a check and it'll go away faster, I promise.
There's a lot of activities that go on. I know you have a list of events that are happening, and just an update about when do you actually start? When do you start the campaign? I know you do it
really
year-round. I know that.
It is year-round. We officially kicked off the campaign on September 9th this year. And we coupled that with our Community Care Day, which was just amazing because we had more volunteers than we've ever had before. If anybody was out and about on September 9th, they saw a sea of Live United shirts all across the county doing different works of service. We had almost 400 volunteers, which is just amazing. We're talking about students, high school students from all of the area high schools. We had folks from the industrial division, businessmen, bankers, attorneys, retired folks. It's really, really neat that we can have one day where everyone comes together and everyone's the same when they put on that Live United t-shirt and they throw on a pair of work gloves or grab a shovel or some cleaning products because we all believe in the same thing. We believe in our home county and we know that if we all pitch in to make a difference, we truly can. And that's pretty inspiring.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I'm knowing the competitive person that you are. I'm sure that there's emails sent to other counties, oh, we did this, or we had this many people.
Do you know what's funny? In the nonprofit world and within United Ways, it really is the opposite because we don't compete with one another. We don't compete with one another because, everyone wants to fund their own home county. So it's really nice. And what we do instead, we idea share. So if somebody had something that was really, really great, why recreate the wheel? So we're going to steal that idea. As a matter of fact, this Fair Share Challenge came from a United Way that did this car giveaway, this raffle for the car down in South Carolina. So we sort of mirrored this contest after theirs, and they've been really fantastic about helping us through the process.
That is neat. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the events that are going to be happening coming up. Just a little bit about the events that you're going to in the next couple weeks.
Sure. Well, while we're talking about campaign, it's going to be really exciting because we've got our first report luncheon coming up, and that is going to be on Thursday, November 6th at the Lodge here in Lancaster. And if you'd like to come, please just give us a call at the United Way office and make your reservation at 653-0643. Anyone can take your reservation. And what we do at the report luncheon, Mike, different companies and individuals from within the community come and we could talk about where we are. So it's really exciting because a lot of people don't know how much we've raised. We get new money and pledges in every day, and it kind of gives us, a point in time. This is where we are, and this is where we need to go. It's a great time for companies to celebrate their successes. And this year, because so many people ran earlier campaigns because they were so excited about the car, it's going to be a really exciting report luncheon. We're going to have a lot to report on. And then, if you feel like you've eaten too many wonderful things at the Lodge, you can work it all off on that Saturday. On Saturday, November 8th, we have our annual United Way 5K run and 2-mile walk. And I'm sure
Wow.
that, I mean,
I have not done that for a while.
but it's incredible, and we gain participants every year. And the people that come back consistently say we come back because it's so well run.
I did have a question. People ask me about strollers. Can they bring?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We highly encourage families to come out. It's a wonderful time to come out and take your run, take your walk. It's only it's $20 to register the day of 18 if you pre-register, which is a really good deal. If anybody's a runner out there, you know what a great deal that is, because you do get a long sleeve black tech shirt. The shirts are really nice. They're designed by Martin Barker. We're very grateful to Martin Barker and all that he does for us. There's bagels provided by Panera. We have coffee donated by Cool Cravings, Pepsi and products, and Gatorade from the Pepsi company. We have tons and tons of volunteers. But we also have a lot of companies that are vying for trophies. We have participation trophies.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're these traveling shoes. So we have 3 different trophies, depending on the size of your company. So make sure that if you're going to register and if you're interested, you get your folks together. They can bring their family members, their kids, their wives, their grandparents. Just get them to sign up under your company name. That counts towards your participation level, and you could walk away with the bronzed shoe.
And that's coming up Saturday, November 8th.
That's correct.
What time should they be there? How long should they be there?
Starts at 9 a.m. and we
Okay.
open registration that day at 7:45 a.m.
Okay.
And that's at the fairgrounds.
All right. That'll be neat.
Yeah.
That'll be, no, you're going to run, right? Or you're not going to run?
You know, it's going to be so busy, Mike, doing
I
other
know,
things, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes, I tell you what, I find all the clapping exhausting. So I think that that's where I'm going to draw the line.
I'm sure there's going to be a great turnout for that. I know.
It's going to be amazing, and it's a high quality event,
Yeah.
and it really wouldn't be so well run and such a nice event. I have to give a shout out to my sponsors.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
People's Bank is our presenting sponsor and has been for years. We also have to thank Fairfield National Bank, Alternicare, Fairfield Medical Center, Buckeye Spine and Rehab, Pediatric Associates of Lancaster, Martin Barker Designs, Fairfield Medical Center's outpatient therapy service, Buffalo Wild Wings, ConAgra Foods, Panera Bread, Snyder and Company, Pepsi, Portaclean, JVP Group, Dr. Jeff Moore, the Lancaster Bingo Company, the Friendly Bremen Banking Center, Document Solutions, and Fairfield Federal. I think I got them all. I'm hoping that I did, because we certainly wouldn't be able to have such a wonderful event with so many fantastic things that are involved in it if it weren't for the wonderful participation from our local sponsors and local businesses.
Now, the position of being campaign manager, is it something that, I'm going to say it doesn't surprise me that all these people are involved in this, because that's Lancaster Fairfield County is all about. I mean, it's just, do you sometimes feel that this is overwhelming? I mean, we have all these people that help us out. I mean,
and I think I've told you this before, you know, I'm not from here. I've lived
Right.
in a lot of different places, but I've been here for 14 years. And I chose to live here because of the unique spirit of this community. And that I've seen even long before I came to the United Way. What I've noticed in working with the United Way, Mike, is that it is overwhelming. You know, the amount of trust that people put in you, and how they believe in this community, and how they will work hard and still invest. And it's fantastic. But I've also noticed that, you know, donors and sponsors and businesses are also savvy. Any warm, fuzzy nonprofit agency can't come and say, hey, you know, you like to do good things. We know you love your community, so will you give us money? They're savvy, and they enjoy co-branding with the United Way because they know that we're all about accountability and transparency. And when we say we're going to do something, we do it. And it's very, very exciting because, you know, anybody can hop on our website, which is newly designed, www.uwayfairfieldco.org. Or just Google United Way Fairfield County, because I know that's a mouthful. But it's a wonderful way to look and see all that we're doing, you know, where we were, where we are right now, and where we want to be, and what we're doing to get there as a community.
I don't expect you to know all of the agencies that United Way helps, because there's so many, but just a couple that off the top of your head, that just that they help out, that people would, I mean, they know, and gee, I
Absolutely.
go there, or I do that.
Right, absolutely. You'd be hard pressed not to be familiar with a few of our agencies. We fund Big Brothers Big Sisters of Fairfield County. We fund Fair Hope Hospice in Fairfield County. The Robert K. Fox Family Y, New Horizons Mental Health Group, Information and Referral 211. Two new agencies that I'm very proud that we fund now. Fairfield County Harcum House, Grace Haven Ministries as well. We have Lutheran Social Services. We fund Community Action. We fund the Recovery
That's a
Center.
lot.
All of these
Sure.
different programs.
And these are
the
just a few of them,
yes,
they're not-
Pickerington Food Pantry, Canal Winchester Human Services. You know, we're not just a Lancaster-based
Right.
United Way. We're the United Way for Fairfield County, and we reach to every edge of the county. You know, we have an on-site free tax site, VITA. I know that I was here
Right,
with
yeah,
Scott last year when we were talking about that, for low-income families to come in and get their taxes prepared for free, and then have financial counseling available afterwards, free FAFSA prep. I mean, it is truly amazing, all of the different agencies that we fund. Fairfield Center for Disabilities, Maywood Mission, their latchkey program there. The list goes on and on.
Now, again, we're taping this the end of October, middle of October. Where are we? I know we all have goals we're going to meet, and we're going to meet, but where are we right now? What do we need to do to get to where we want to be?
Well, where we need to be is $1.6 million. That's where Dean and the campaign team and I have set the goal. Last year we raised a little over 1.56 million. So it is a $40,000 increase, but that's because the needs are there and we are making progress. But right now, we have a little over $470,000 in, which is actually, we're ahead of the game from where we were last year.
Sure.
And the companies that are reporting early are reporting on average, a 21% increase.
Wow.
That's what we're saying. So I'm very optimistic. I do believe that this county believes in the work that we're doing. And they believe that it can be done, and they're pulling together, and I believe we're going to hit that $1.6 million.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, you'll have a wrap-up meeting, and you'll have an awards banquet. At what point in time does everybody get together, or that group gets together and says, okay, this is how we're going to divide this up? Has that already been done, or will it be done, or?
That gets done every year.
Okay.
And that's something that goes before the Community Impact Councils. Once the Board of Trustees sees what we are projecting for campaign, okay, once we know what we're going to be bringing in, they will make allocations. So according to those needs and according to the reports from the different councils, this is how much will be allocated to the income impact area. This is how much will be allocated to the education impact area. And this is how much will be allocated to the health impact area. Then it's up to those councils to go through those RFPs that these agencies have submitted, score them, look at the progress that they're making, look at the work that they're doing, and then they will divide that money out amongst those agencies that fall underneath those impact areas.
You talk about the community impact models. Talk a little bit about that too. Maybe
Sure.
somebody who's not sure what that's all about.
Do you know, I have a very simple way of sort of wrapping my brain around it, because it's a tough thing to think. It's a business model. It's a business model, and what it basically means is United Way understands that it is no longer good enough to Band-Aid situations anymore, and that we cannot simply provide funding to an agency if they're a nonprofit organization and they have a warm fuzzy mission and we think that they're doing good works. We have to be able to measure that data. And first of all, we need to have a baseline and we need to have a goal. What are we trying to do with this agency? And so that's basically what community impact means. It means that we're going to look at what this agency is doing and help them be as effective as they possibly can in creating that lasting change. It's about making sure that we stop problems before they begin, and try and be as effective with our investors' donor dollars as we possibly can.
Do you have any companies that they're brand new? I want to say, I guess maybe they're new to they haven't done it before, and it will help out. This is what we can do. Maybe talk a little bit about some of the new kids on the block.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm in talks right now with a new industrial company that's just moved in to the Mill Park area, which is Phoenix Electrotech.
Sure,
You know, they
yeah.
don't have a lot of employees, but we're in chats right now. So, Dwayne, if you're out there, I'll be calling again. Don't forget what we talked about. But they've got a nice employee base there, and they're a Canadian company. So, you know, I'm Canadian, Mike. So, you know, I figure I've got to have an in there, right?
Oh, sounds good to me.
But no, we've got a lot of really great things going on. Diley Ridge Medical Center,
Right.
you know, they
That's
hadn't
right.
really participated very much in the past. We have a fantastic new company key there this year, Yvonne Pardon, and she has really lit a fire under the staff there and really helped me get in there and talk about what it is that we do. That's all it usually takes.
Sure.
Because once people understand what it is that they do, they want to pitch in, they want to be a part of it. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
It feels good and it makes a difference, and it's an investment in your community.
Yeah,
So
but-
they're running a great campaign right
You
now.
ever keep in touch with people that were on a campaign 5 years ago that you met with the first time? And
Oh,
just,
absolutely.
you know, maybe they're not involved with it as much now, but
Yeah, absolutely. It's very hard for me actually because
Oh,
you know
yeah,
I
I can't
have
imagine
so
that.
many accounts. I have so many accounts, and you build these wonderful relationships. They're really, when you bond with someone over coming together
Sure.
to help, you know, change people's lives. And these are the folks that, I mean, they're the ones that make it possible. I'm the campaign manager, but I can't be in all of these different companies. If I didn't have these company keys,
Sure.
we'd be dead in the water. These are the folks that do all of the work and organize these special events and tell the stories and bring those employees together. And this is all in addition to their day-to-day tasks, you know, with their profession. So I am so grateful for those folks. And you build this relationship and it becomes a great bond. So I don't like to lose my company keys if they decide they've had enough or if they move somewhere else, but I do keep in touch, absolutely.
I know we talked earlier about the car that Keith Coomer is giving away, or Dean DeRolf. Do you go visit other places a lot and say, what's happening here? How are you doing this? I guess, you know, plagiarism is the greatest form of
Right.
flattery. I mean, is that something that you do a lot? Or?
Well, I personally don't travel around as much. Again, that's how we keep our administrative costs low.
Which are very low. I mean,
Very low.
We should point out
Very
they are
low,
extremely low.
absolutely. And so what we can do by phone calls and through the listservs and the different United Way websites that we can hop on, we do a lot of conference calls. I do meet with my counterparts from the contiguous counties once or twice a year, and that's really valuable as well. So, but that's pretty much you can find a lot out on the web.
Oh, sure. But we did hit on a topic about the administrative costs. They are extremely, I don't know that, I mean, I've seen the balance sheets, but it's, I don't know what percentage of every dollar, but it's very minimal.
Well, last year, and anyone can hop on and check out our audit and our 990 again on uwayfairfieldco.org. We were at 12.4%, I believe. And if you look at other United Ways or other nonprofit organizations, it's absolutely incredible.
Sure.
And a lot of times, you know, the unfortunate reality is you hear all of these things about, you know, the United Way executives being paid so much money and, you know, only this much money goes to programs and services. And I just always like to remind folks, we're your United Way of Fairfield County. We are our own separate entity, okay? We share a brand with National United Way, but we're your United Way. And so, again, all of our financials are online. So, and I'm here to tell you that I just had lunch with my boss, and she's checking the prices on everything. So she's not driving around in a Porsche, and she's not the one that you're reading about online.
Oh, no.
So we're really, really proud. And we enable, because we are able to go out during this time and campaign for, you know, the 24 agencies that we fund, not to mention
Right.
the multiple programs through grants. Because we're able to do that, we're able to bring in so much money that these folks would not otherwise
Sure.
be able to go out and get. They don't have the staffing. That's why their administrative costs are so low as well. You know, we're trying to be as effective as we possibly can, spreading the word, spreading the message, so that people understand what it is that we do, and then they can in turn give, volunteer, and advocate.
We just have a few minutes left in the show today. In your spare time, did you go to the fair? Have you been to the pumpkin show? What?
I have not been to the pumpkin show, but I did go to the fair.
And your
I
favorite food
did.
is?
I'm really hard pressed. They had something new this year that I was intrigued by though. They had elephant toes. I'd not seen those before.
Elephant toe, I missed
It's
that.
not the elephant ear. It's like a more manageable. They're smaller.
I missed that.
They're smaller. I was a fan. I was a fan. I ate my way through the fair though. Yep.
Deep fried Oreos? I haven't figured that one out yet.
I've not tried those yet, and it's
Okay.
not for lack of trying it, okay? But there was a line, and it was raining. So, yes.
Yeah.
But, I'm a big fan of food.
We went to see my daughter came home from Kentucky Westland, and my other daughter came down, and we went specifically to see the Clydesdale. They were gone.
Oh, no.
We walked around, and we did our best. We
It was
ate.
beautiful. I have to say,
Really?
that was so incredible to have those Clydesdales right here at our own Fairfield County Fair. I took my boys over to see them, and it was incredible. We have so much in this community.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So much to be proud of. And I know that there are all kinds of awful things in the news, and I'm just here to tell you folks that here in Fairfield County, we're doing A-okay. People are good. We're doing good works. We can feel good about where we live.
Any other things you want to talk about before we've just got about a minute left?
I tell you what, just make sure that you check us out online. We do have that online registration this year, which is really neat. And it doesn't cost you any extra to register online for that 5K.
At the same website?
Same website. Yes, absolutely. Just click on the 5K tab. Remember, we do have those long sleeve black tech shirts. And so for an $18 pre-registration fee, that's a pretty nice deal.
Absolutely. Amanda Strigle, a campaign manager for United Way, has been our special guest today. Thanks for coming in, and we'll get you back. We'll get you back on as we go through and wrap this up.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller, and remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.